Welcome back to Goal Getters, a video series that looks at what it means to be a goal getter. You push forward in the face of risk, you go all in, you speak up, lean in, and take your seat at the table, because being a goal getter means you believe in seeing what you can do. Today, I have the distinct privilege of being joined by Andrew Haley, gold medal Paralympic champion swimmer, 2 times cancer survivor, and a peak performance speaker. Andrew, welcome to Goal Getters.
Oh, so excited to be here, Steve, and have this time together to talk about a very important topic about pushing your limits and go and get it.
That's quite a string of accomplishments, Andrew. Tell me about yourself in your own words.
Yeah, just a little kid growing up in the east coast of Canada. Obviously, I had cancer twice and never try to let it get me down, and keep trying to push to be the best possible. Found swimming at a relatively young age, 15, and turned that into a Hall of Fame swimming career, and just try to live every single day. As you mentioned, kind of go get excellence every single day. So yeah, that's what I strive for.
Do you still swim now?
I do. I mean, not competitively and not like masters, but I love getting outside to swim, even inside to swim, and just having that healthy aspect of my life, and trying to teach those around me to stay fit and stay active.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I tell you, I'm incredibly inspired by your story. What do you think people who, like me, work behind a desk every day, perhaps don't have never won Olympic awards, never had the adversity that you've had in your life, what should they take away from your remarkable athletic accomplishments?
I think we just have to realize that we can do anything we want in life. I mean, it may be a cliche, it may be overused, but I think that we need that fire within us to be able to keep pushing the limits. I'm 49 years old. I've got 2 kids, a wife, and a full-time job that keeps me busy. And in addition to that, I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm taking my MBA. So there's like a lot going on in life, but we can't have excuses why we can't do things. I think sometimes people tend to think about, oh, the grass is not greener on the other side, I'm not going to do it. But what if it is? Keep pushing, keep striving for excellence. And the other thing is, surround yourself with a lot of people that are going to support you along that journey, and anything is possible.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a little while, because I know it's not just about you. There's a cast of characters which make you successful. But um, as an athlete, you aren't just training to be the best, you're training to be your best, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
how do you find you're in a champion, and how do you really kind of untap your potential?
Well, the thing is, as an athlete, we're always taught to only focus on the things you can control. I can't control what other swimmers are going to do around me, and I can just control my effort in the pool, being very meticulous with that particular effort. So because of that, I set my goals, my path, my distinction. But again, I work with a team around me to help me get there. And I've been successful, but I want to be able to continue to push, continue to learn. I'm not always going to be successful. I'm going to take missteps. I'm going to fail. But as long as we never feel like a failure is okay, but never feel defeated. So I just keep trying, just keep moving. I have one leg. The doctors gave me a year to learn how to ride a bike. I learned in a week. Never be too afraid to fall, because it's not your life's not determined by how many times you get knocked down. It's determined by how many times you get up. So that's what I try to live on.
Yeah, and those successes and really kind of pushing through the boundaries can kind of give you even more motivation and fuel to get back on and continue to progress, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you mentioned the team. Swimming. Most people think of swimming as an individual sport, um, but there is a team around you. How can you foster a team environment and support each other to help you reach your individual goals? Tell me a little bit about that. How does that work in your field?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, for me, team is not just a word, it's an acronym. Together, everyone achieves more. And being able to surround yourself with those individuals, those key support networks that's going to be able to push you forward. That time when you're working out on a Saturday morning, let's say 8 o'clock, and you really don't want to get up. You don't want, it's cold outside, and there's factors that conspire to want you to stay in bed. But you have to go, you have to continue on. And then when you get the mindset that you're going to do it no matter what, others will take notice. Surrounding yourself with those individuals, like I did in my career, that's going to be able to push you forward. That's going to give you that positive motivation in order to achieve excellence. And that's what I call it. I call it my own level of personal excellence. And while I'm the one that's going after, the records in the pool and whatnot, I've got that whole support network around me, and it feels so great. And the other thing I want to try to impress upon the people watching is that sometimes we really focus on what's at stake. We get behind the blocks and we're trying to situation and whatnot, and we freeze up, whether it's speaking in front of public or at a work or whatever. And I think it's more important maybe to focus on what's not at stake. Who's at home supporting you, your friends, your family, all those people that are going to stand by you, no matter what the outcome. And then if you focus on what's not at stake, that will help you that little bit more on what is at stake. And I think you'll feel a little more calm to be able to go out and rock it.
Yeah. Together, everyone achieves more. I've heard lots of acronyms and lots of buzzwords, but I really like that one. It's super simple, right, and easy to remember. Was there ever a time when trust or the team didn't work together, and you had to kind of really kind of rally the team to help you get to where you needed to get to?
I mean, certainly in my corporate environment, the experiences I've had that not everybody's going to click as part of the team. When you've got team members 30, 40 strong, I mean, there's going to be different ideas about when practice is and how hard you're going to go and the type of sets. And you're working in a group in terms of practice, although you train and you race individually. So, I mean, but I think we have to rely on open dialogue and open communication with those around you and what's the best possible path. So when you go into a training environment or racing environment, that's all laid out. It's laid out to the T, because we as athletes are we go on habit, right? So you want things laid out to a certain way. You have to be flexible. Sometimes, things are going to happen where you think finals are at 6 o'clock, especially if it's outside and it's raining, and now it's at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. But you really have to be a flexible, confident athlete. And really, I think that's the main thing here, is just to be ultra confident, ultra flexible, also ultra listening to the team around you, because it's like the tide that binds. Like it fills you up, it pushes you up. So having teammates is a really good thing, and some of my best races are with a team.
Yeah. Do you call back on your Paralympian experiences in your professional experience? Are you known as Andrew the Paralympian? Do you give examples of how you won in the pool in your work day-to-day work life?
I think it's intrinsically motivated to continue on. I mean, I don't necessarily say I did this and I did that, because sometimes I don't mix my speaking and my swimming and my athletic persona with my work persona, if you will.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of things from getting up early, getting things done, not letting things get to the last minute, being very meticulous with your preparation, meticulous with how you go about defined in a meeting. Like if I'm going to go into workout, I have to have a plan about my workout, and that's no different than if I'm going to go a plan with my boss or the executives around my company, or even subordinates to me. So always being prepared. And the other thing is, like, when I was training, Sundays would come around, and Sundays were my day to rest and relax and recharge. So I could give my best effort Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to the rest of the week. And the same thing with work. When I go to work on Monday morning, there's a responsibility, a demand on me to be able to perform the way I need to perform all week. And it's an adrenaline rush, because when you get things done, you accomplish many goals along the stepping stone along the way. So the main goal may be to win the gold medal at the Paralympics, but there's so many other different steps along the way, and the journey is so important. It's not just the destination; it's what you learn along the way.
Yeah, it's interesting because that really is a recurring theme with all of our goal getter guests. Is that the importance of breaking down big audacious goals is really important. Understanding where you want to get to, having a big vision, a big goal, but then not being intimidated by that and saying, okay, what do I want to achieve this week, this quarter, this month, even this, the next hour in the gym, or then in the
Mm.
next 30 minutes in a meeting, and making sure that ladder's all the way up to the goal has been super important. That's a recurring theme.
And I just want to mention, like in my career, one of the things that was important to me, because I had this 7-step process to sort of do excellence. And one of them in there was take a break before you break. And I want to impress upon people that we continue to push, right? There's those of you that are going to push, push, push. And that's awesome. That's like so great that you want to push to your goal. But just be aware that sometimes you just need to pull back just a little bit so you can continue to be fresh and relaxed and continue to go. So don't push it so hard that you're going to, take a mental break. Always continue to listen to yourself, listen to your body, and take that break, because that'll keep you fresh, keep you moving.
Yeah, I like that. Whether it's a rest day in sport, or a weekend and enjoying the time with your family and your friends, it's important. You don't have it. Yeah, you can't perform 24/7, 365 days a year. Take a break before you
That's right.
break. Any other insights from the Secret Seven?
I would say that we already gone through teamwork. I just think that believing is the first step in doing. It's number one, and you don't accomplish anything unless you truly believe. So there's motivation and there's inspiration, and motivation will get you to, like, I think I'm going to do this, and then somebody says to you on a Friday night, like, think go back to my high school days, hey Andrew, want to go to the dance on Friday night? Sure. That means I'm not going to work out the next morning because I probably got home too late. But inspiration comes from deep down. And so you'll never say yes to that dance on a Friday night because you know that you're going to go to workout the next day and you're going to rock it. And the other thing is, if I didn't go to workout, I'd always think somebody else in the world was getting better than me. I did not want to let that happen.
Talk to me about setbacks and disappointments. What obstacles have you had to overcome, and how have you turned those into helping you into opportunities to help you achieve your goals?
Yeah, it's interesting. I read something the other day. It was like there's two paths. There's either you succeed or you learn. I think it was Nelson Mandela, and it was a really interesting thing to listen to, because I truly believe that we need setbacks in our lives to be able to learn and push forward. Sometimes we're successful. We don't evaluate our situation. So one of the things I always try to do in anything that I'm doing is constantly evaluate whether you're successful or not. We don't want to evaluate if we're successful because we're successful. But if we're not successful, then we tend to evaluate. But continue that process, whether you're successful or not, I think would be very important. And I think we learn a lot about ourselves with setbacks. We learn about how much we're willing to put forward, change it. How much we're willing to really overcome, rise above. And will that knock you down? Will that define you? If those setbacks are going to define you, you're just going to feel defeated and not continue on. Well, then I would argue that you're probably not doing the right path. But if you're willing to just, it's like, I got knocked down. Let's say you're doing triathlon, you get knocked down part of the run, and you have to take a break. But you know what? I'm going to fight through this. And when you get ask yourself, everybody watching this, ask yourself, have you ever been in a situation where you had that opportunity for greatness and you passed it up? And if you did, why? And why didn't you push forward? And what would you do differently next time in order to go get your own level of personal excellence?
Yeah, one of the things that I love to do with my team is ask them, okay, what could possibly go wrong? And actually start to think of do a pre-mortem, right? Think about
Yeah.
what could fail, how do we mitigate that, and then how do we plan for what will inevitably be things that will go wrong and won't go to plan. And at least that way, then we're starting to think about how can we be more responsive and more agile to the environment that we're in. So obviously the whole season is about goals and making sure that all of our actions are aligned to a goal and that we're kind of leaning in. What does it mean to go all in on your goals for you personally and professionally?
It means there's no safety net. It means that, some people will say, I'm going to do this, but if that doesn't work, I'm going to fall back. So what I try to do is I don't want to ever fall backwards. I want to fall forwards. So sometimes you're going to get knocked off your block, but then you're going to learn and you're going to continue on. And if you think that there's a safety net there, you may not push as hard as you need to because if it doesn't work out, let's just go back to doing this. But if there's no real safety net, like in swimming, there's nothing else. That's it. I wanted to be the best in the world. There's a lot of people didn't believe me. A lot. I grew up in Cape Breton Island, and there was a lot of people who just, you want to be the best in the world? Hello. But I did it because I wrote down my goal. I was true to my goal, and I adjusted as I needed to, and I went after it. And the more confidence you get, this is the amazing thing. And I'm so fired up about it, is that once you continue on the path to your goal, it's like reading a book. When you read a book and you get to the last 100 pages or whatever, and you just want to keep reading because it's exciting to get to the end. It's the same thing. When you get so close to your goal, it just fires you up even more because you're starting to see the end of the finish line. And that's what I wish upon everybody watching this, is that they have their own level of finish line and they have their own level of drive, and they're going to go after it no matter what. Why? Because no matter your age, no matter your ability, no matter your situation, you can be amazing.
Love it. I love the idea of acting as if there's no safety net. That kind of opens the boundaries and frees you to untap all kinds of potential. Andrew, I really enjoyed talking to you. You are truly an inspiration. Your accomplishments are second to none. And if there's anybody who lives goal getting and going all in on a goal, yeah, it's you, man. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate you spending a few moments talking with me today. And I hope our paths cross again, man. But I just don't want to face you in a pool. I fear that you would put me to shame.
I had a tiger, and parting way. Thank you so much for that, and good luck to everybody watching. There's a champion and a tiger within, and I wish everybody the best of luck trying to find theirs.